Today on the CTV News at 5, a grass fire that threatened several homes is now being treated as suspicious. Plus, the victim of an avalanche death near Sparwood is identified. And
But too much beard, you kind of look like you've been hiding in the mountains for a while.
what women want. Is a beard hot or not?
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Lethbridge police say a large grass fire that threatened several homes is now being treated as suspicious. It started around 4 yesterday afternoon and spread through the coulees from 41st Avenue to Bevan Park. Wind blew the flames within a few hundred meters of several homes in Hardyville. Fire crews from Lethbridge and surrounding areas worked for hours to put out the blaze and douse flare-ups. Police closed off streets so emergency crews could work. People who live in the area say the flames came so close they started preparing to leave.
Immediately we went and just got all our stuff right away. We're just like,
Whoa.
I was thinking about Slave Lake last year when, half the town burned down.
And
so I went and,
everything else.
gathered all of our stuff together, our laptop and important pictures.
Lethbridge has been under a fire ban since Friday. Sunday's grass fire was the second in that area in just 3 days. And RCMP are investigating a suspected arson that sent a Fort Macleod teen to hospital with critical injuries. Investigators are continuing to gather evidence from the home that went up in flames around 6 Saturday morning. A 17-year-old was pulled from the basement and flown to Calgary by Stars Air ambulance. None of the other 4 people living in the home were injured. Emergency crews were able to put the blaze out before it did much damage to the outside of the building. Police believe it started in the furnace room in the basement of the home.
It's a suspicious fire, suspicious start. The fire investigator from Lethbridge has been out here to view the scene, and now our forensic identification section members are in there going through the evidence of the fire.
Fort Macleod RCMP are working closely with Calgary fire investigators to examine the cause. The teen pulled from the fire underwent surgery and is now listed in stable condition. Arson charges are pending against a woman who had to be rescued from a burning home in Medicine Hat and then flown to Edmonton for medical treatment. Fire crews were called to the blaze in the 1300 block of 24th Street Southeast yesterday. Firefighters saved the 34-year-old woman and a pet from an upstairs bedroom that was engulfed in flames. Neither the woman's name nor condition have been released. Well, an avalanche has killed 1 man and left others trapped on the side of a mountain near Revelstoke. It happened around 4:30 Sunday afternoon in the Ghost Peak area, which is southeast of the BC mountain town. The slide buried a skier. He was wearing a beacon, and that's how those who were skiing with him were able to find him. Unfortunately, when they dug him out, he was already dead. The body and other skiers are still trapped on the mountain because high winds are making it impossible for a helicopter to land. Avalanche conditions in most of southeastern BC is listed as high. Meanwhile, Steve Burke Hall was the person killed in an avalanche near Sparwood. The 33-year-old was from Birchcliff, which is near Red Deer. The avalanche struck in the Corbin area around 2 Friday afternoon. The region is about 30 kilometers southeast of Sparwood. The party included 6 members. 3 members of the snowmobile group stopped for lunch, while 3 others, including Hall, continued uphill. And that's when the avalanche hit. RCMP, a search dog, and Sparwood Search and Rescue helped the 5 survivors get out of the area safely. Hall was just days shy of his 34th birthday. And meanwhile, in a separate avalanche near Fernie, that resulted in 1 person being seriously injured. 4 skiers were touring on Fernie Ridge when they triggered a large avalanche that carried 1 man down the steep slope into some trees. Rescuers were forced to stay with the man overnight until he could be evacuated by helicopter. He's now been transferred to Cranbrook Hospital, where he's listed in stable condition. Well, his SUV left the road, crashing down 30 meters down an embankment, and he lived to tell about it. It happened about 10 kilometers east of Cranbrook on Saturday. The man was rescued from his overturned SUV after managing to call 911 from his cell phone. RCMP say the road is covered in mountainous terrain with steep slopes and no guardrails. The vehicle was found flipped over in a canyon along a forestry road. The man was airlifted to Calgary by Stars. The extent of his injuries aren't yet known. We've got David Spence filling in for Dory Rossiter on the weather desk today. And David, these temperatures that we've got, they are pretty darn nice. Can we expect to keep them for a while?
Well, yeah, I think so. Overall, this week is going to be warmer than average. Some days warmer than others. Today and tomorrow will be pretty warm, and we can thank a big storm on the west coast for that. It's pushing a lot of mild Pacific air across the Rockies into southern Alberta, but it's causing problems out west. They had water spouts or waterborne tornadoes in parts of, or just offshore parts of Vancouver Island earlier today. That's how powerful this storm is. Making a big mess out there, but we get all the benefits, and we'll tell you more about it later in the program.
We like how that sounds. Thanks, David. Well, the Premier is cracking down on MLAs receiving pay for sitting on committees. The controversy came to light last week, and today Alison Redford announced that no one under her command will be paid for committee work.
I've also suspended pay for all government members on government committees effective immediately. All of this will be done pending the outcome of retired Supreme Court Justice John Major's review of MLA compensation and benefits.
The Premier has asked the Speaker to review the pay of all committees of the legislature and then suspend all legislative committee pay. Last week it was revealed that a 21-member legislature committee has not met or had any orders of business in more than 3 years, yet each MLA on it has still been receiving at least $1,000 a month in committee pay. Since then, there has been significant public displeasure, with many calling on the Premier to do something about it. Southern Albertans are rallying for an inquiry into the robocall scandal. Demonstrators carried what they call the corpse of democracy through downtown Lethbridge Saturday. The ralliers are demanding a full public inquiry into the voter fraud scandal, and they also want new federal elections in areas where the outcome may have been affected. The group protested outside Conservative MP Jim Hillier's office. Organizers say it's not about targeting a specific party, but sending a message to the government to protect democracy.
Whoever's doing it, whatever party they might be connected to or not connected to, it's fraud. Fraud requires in Canada that you pay a hefty fine and or a jail term. Our right to vote needs to be protected.
Thousands participated in robocall demonstrations throughout Canada this weekend. Two internationally renowned water experts are calling for protection of Castle Special Place. Logging has already started in an area west of Pincher Creek. University of Alberta ecology professor Dr. David Schindler says clear cutting will reduce the river's ability to provide water to the dry prairie and boost costs for filtering water in municipalities like Lethbridge. The warning comes on the heels of concerns raised by a newly formed environmental group, Timberwolf, earlier this month. Also speaking out against logging in the area is Robert Sanford, chair of the Canadian Partnership Initiative in support of the United Nations. And he says the basin is already over-allocated and logging will compound water security. The statements were released today by the Canadian Parks and Wilderness Society. Well, a Lethbridge teen wants to do her part to spread the word about injustice in Uganda. 15-year-old Haley Baker knew she wanted to do something when she saw the viral video about Ugandan guerrilla leader Joseph Kony. Kony is accused of abducting more than 60,000 children to become soldiers and sex slaves. Awareness campaigns are planned around the world where people will cover cities in Kony posters. Baker is rallying to support and make sure that posters are being put up in Lethbridge.
When I first saw the video, I almost felt sick to my stomach. Like, I actually started crying in the video. It definitely touched me. Like, when the video was over, I couldn't just sit there and be like, oh wow, and then get up and walk away and continue on with my regular life. I had to do something.
Cover the Night will take place in downtown Lethbridge on Friday, April 20th, 7 p.m. Well, the 5 days for the homeless campaign is underway at the University of Lethbridge.
Do you have any change on you, sir?
No, sorry.
Student volunteers are sleeping outside in cardboard boxes and can only eat food that's donated. This is the 5th year the U of L has participated in the nationwide event. 20 other universities are helping to raise awareness about homelessness and funds for a local charity. The group from the U of L is hoping to raise $15,000 for Woods Homes. The youth shelter provides bedding, food, and showers for children under the age of 18.
It's really great, and it's heartwarming to know that there are young people out there, students who realize the problem that we do have and are willing to give up 5 nights of their comfort in their lives to support what we do, like you said, on a daily basis.
Honestly, I saw them, this is the 5th year they've done 5 days, and I saw them doing it a couple years ago, and I stopped by and talked with them, and I just have a heart and a passion for it. I have a friend who works in the shelter, and just the stories that I hear about the youth is heartbreaking, so I really wanted to get behind it.
The group will be hanging outside the Students' Union building until Friday at 5. You can donate to the cause in person or online at 5day.ca. The Blood Tribe is moving ahead with plans for a new learning center and student residence facility on the reserve. The Red Crow College Learners Resource Center would replace the existing Red Crow College building, which dates back to 1925. The location is still being finalized, and the band continues to lobby for funding. A gala fundraising event is scheduled for Friday at the Coast Lethbridge Hotel, and it includes a variety of contemporary and traditional First Nations entertainers. Organizers say the goal is to raise awareness about the project.
And in the future, we're going to have a full campus, including, recreation, trades, and so forth. But right now, we're looking at student affordable housing, and also this new we call resource center, which will be housing archives, a library, and also artifacts to be stored in there.
Proceeds from the gala go towards the Red Crow Capital Campaign for the new Leaders Center and residents. You can get more information at the Foundation's website, which is on your screen. Well, in the markets today, Loonie closed on a down note. Here are the final numbers.